We are finally getting a positive change as Venus, the goddess of connection and beauty, enters her home sign of Libra on Thursday, August 29th. She will gain strength and dignity and will offer us a much needed break from the difficult energy we experienced in August. Let's take a closer look and break it down for all 12 signs. My name is Anastasia. I'm a traditional Western astrologer specializing in natal, relationship, and predictive readings. If you enjoy my work, please take a few seconds of your time to show your support by leaving a like, a comment, subscribing, and pressing the notification bell. Watch another one of my videos or say thank you by buying me a coffee, a tea, croissant. Send me a happy thought. Anything you do is appreciated by me, and every single one of you makes me feel happy about what I do and sort of feel like I have a purpose. So thank you for being here. Before we dive in, if you're looking for personal guidance, you have questions, you want to understand your life, want to figure out what best career suits you, or you're curious to know whether your relationship is compatible, or you want to know what year ahead is bringing, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. Astrology is very fascinating and can answer a lot of your questions. So check out my website for all of the reading offerings I have. And on my website, you can also find a variety of products I create. My 2025 planner is almost ready to go on sale. It goes on sale in September. Want to wait for all the retrograde Venus entering her home sign, and then it's gonna be out there for you guys to buy, to own, to love and hug and cherish. On my website, you can also find astrological notebooks, and you can find a variety of candles and oils I create. If you like the energy of chill, charming, beautiful, relaxed, flirtatious Venus in Libra, pick up my Venus in Libra 2 candle. This one captures the goddess of beauty in her powerful state, helping you attract love, find agreement and compromise in relationships, communicate better, and just sort of improve your creative life as well. Highly recommend this for anyone born with their Venus retrograde or Venus in the sign of detriment and fall, Virgo, Aries, or Scorpio. You may struggle with your romantic life if you have those placements. If your Venus is in the dark house 6, 8, or 12, if you have Venus in a square or opposition to Mars, Venus conjunct square opposition Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, or Pluto, this would be a perfect candle for you. And even more so, we're gonna have Venus retrograde early next year. So you will hear me talking about the benefits of this candle again and again. So might as well pick one up right now. So thank you for listening. Let's talk about Venus in Libra. Venus is our planet of connection. She is Aphrodite in Greek or Roman myth. She likes to enjoy life. She is happy. She loves song and beauty and delicious foods and love making. She's all about getting along. And when she's in Libra, she's at home. She's at home in Libra and in Taurus. Libra is her masculine, airy domain, right? And with that comes a certain energy of like, she's outgoing, she's social. Venus in Taurus might just sort of look pretty and be a little bit more yin, introverted, and have sort of attraction by like just like drawing things, being beautiful. Venus in Libra will go out there. She's gonna meet, she's gonna chat, she's gonna befriend, she's gonna look beautiful, right? So we will actively seek to add beauty into our life. We may notice a desire to go to concerts, to go to social events, to beautify our surroundings. We will seek harmony in relationships, right? You may see more couples around you, more sort of hand-holding, kissing, PDA type thing. Venus is in Libra from August 29th until September 22nd. We got a little bit less than a month, right? 3 weeks-ish, a little bit more Venus in Libra. So very creative, very romantic, very flirtatious. She's a bit detached. She loves love, but she knows that she can find love with a multitude of people. She doesn't rush to commit, right? You don't want to rush people with Venus in Libra. If this is you, happy Venus return. Congratulations on being born with Venus in rulership. I hope it helps. You've noticed that it's been really helpful for your love life. Of course, every placement, even when it's the planet in rulership, has its issues, right? It's impossible as a Virgo, triple Virgo with 3 planets in Virgo, I'll tell you that it's impossible to find perfection, right? So even Venus in her home sign may struggle with overindulgence. She might be sort of, struggle saying no to things, overeating, overextending yourself, over partying. She might struggle with people pleasing, indecision, and a bit of superficiality. We've been on this path of actually letting go of a lot of that. So Venus is in Libra, but Venus is still in the same sign as South Node. This is the final time. Last year we had Venus co-present with South Node, and this time around too, which changes things a little bit. It sort of tints things with that need to be more mindful, more demure. If you guys know this, please share down below. I've been obsessed. Demure. I've been demured. But she is, she's like, South Node is very much encouraging us to not care about superficiality, to use this charm that Libra possesses. And we all have Libra in some portion of our chart, right? Like we all have all 12 signs somewhere in our chart. And it's teaching us to use the charm for good, to use the discernment for kind of important matters, important issues, to choose partners based on soul connection, not based on the looks. So we will have some of that like light detached energy, but there's also going to be some lessons connected to that. So some important dates, it's quite different with Venus in Libra. We have a lot more positive energy versus Venus in Virgo in August. And I'm curious, have you noticed August being a bit shaky romantically, emotionally? There was a lot of tense aspects in August, just like way too many. For a Leo season, for a fun-loving Leo season. What was that about? So Venus enters Libra on the 29th of August. Immediately she trines Pluto. Deep feelings, passion, connection, new relationships that have profound effects on our personality. Sort of deep energy. Deep. On September 15th, my birthday. Yay! Venus will trine Jupiter, which is awesome. Venus together with Jupiter is good times. Creativity, opportunities, optimism, love, really great for dating, for making amends, for socializing, for asking for help, for making content. The challenge here is Venus and Jupiter are too much about having a good time, and they might not feel as driven to overcome any difficulty, or not even as driven to work at things. So the danger might be letting the opportunities slip through your fingers. So you want to make sure you take advantage of whatever comes your way. And then the final few days of Venus in Libra, September, let's say 20th until 22nd, Venus will be squaring Pluto, which is interesting, right? We started with Venus trining Pluto because Pluto at that point on the 29th of August is in Aquarius. And then Pluto enters Capricorn on September 1st, and Venus gets to not only trine Pluto in Libra, but then square Pluto. So I wonder if this is about some type of lessons you are learning. If first you were like, oh, this is great, I'm gonna do what my heart desires, everything is working out for me, and then there's that square to Pluto, and it's the eclipse season already, right? It's the eclipse season with the next eclipse coming up on October 2nd, after September 17th eclipse, after, right after this Venus square Pluto. The eclipse is coming up in Libra. So she's gonna square Pluto, which suggests that maybe your perfect vision has flaws, that your perfect feast has been poisoned. There is something in the water, right? Something like doesn't smell right. Like it looks good, but it's a little stinky. It's a little stinky. It hasn't showered for a couple of days, maybe. So it will offer you a chance to address any difficulties, challenges, examine what is actually beautiful and majestic and what is not. And like right after that, Venus goes into Scorpio and the mood changes, right? Like Venus in Scorpio will ask, is this feeding my passion, my desires, my soul? Is this relationship, this project, this collaboration, is it worth pursuing? So some important questions will be asked by Venus squaring Pluto. If you're looking for personal reading, you want to know what the upcoming eclipse season has in store for you, you have questions about Pluto going retrograde or anything else, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. I'd be happy to look at your natal chart, look at your relationship, your years to come, or anything else you'd like me to look at. And let's take a look at all the rising signs and talk about what this might mean for you. Real quick. If you are the lovely Aries rising, Venus is entering your 7th house. This is beautiful. Love Venus in the 7th house. She's in her home sign. She's in the house of relationships. You can expect accord, understanding, ease. It becomes easier to draw in the partner you desire. So if you are in a place of wondering whether to start dating, now is the time to start dating, because it's, we're done with the retrograde of Mercury. We're done with Venus in the center for fall in your 6th house, which could have been a lot more about like work and health. Now you are coming out of this period of like being really sort of busy and hardworking, and you're getting ready to go out there and put yourself out there. You may attract a partner who suits your desires, but once again, be really mindful of choosing people based on deeper qualities than just their looks. And business collaborations, any kind of relationships, contracts, agreements, things you're signing, all of that are likely to go well. I can also see this beneficial for like dating someone you're friends with, or meeting someone at a social gathering as Venus trines Pluto in your 11th, and potentially maybe meeting someone or like starting a business partnership as Venus connects with Jupiter in the 3rd. Please share how this resonates. Are you looking to start dating? And if you're looking for more, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. If you are the beautiful Taurus rising, Venus is entering your 6th house, helping you get along with colleagues, inspiring more work that is maybe fun and creative. You're maybe choosing projects like that, or being offered to work on projects that require more creative approach, a more creative approach, that are maybe done in a partnership with other people. So you're spending more time with your colleagues. You're maybe going out more with your colleagues. You're maybe seeking to bring joy to your mundane activities, like taking a dance class, or putting flowers next to your desk, or putting a poster that gives you joy or something like that, or even like, I don't know, going to watch improv or doing improv as part of the mind exercise. There might be some positive professional developments as Venus trines Pluto in late August, and even some financial gains as it aspects Jupiter in the 2nd house. But of course, later in this transit, in sort of mid-September, September 22nd, Venus will square Pluto in your 9th house, so you may have to deal with maybe some beliefs or some questions surrounding your direction, your place of living, matters involving education, travel, things like that. If you're looking for a personal guidance, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. I'd be happy to look at your natal chart, your year to come, or your relationship. If you are Gemini rising, Venus is entering your 5th house, and not only she enters the sign she rules, but she enters the house she's in her joy in. So this is beautiful for having a good time. And a good time is different for different people. 5th house is a very interesting place because it holds children, it holds love, but it also holds pleasure. And pleasure is very, like I said, very sort of unique based on each individual. So if we're talking about children, your child might experience a happier period. Maybe they're starting school and they're loving it. Or you are enjoying hanging out with them. You're feeling more connected. You're laughing together. You're playing together. It's lovely, right? Romantically, you may put yourself out there, start dating. Suddenly your romantic life speeds up, gets more exciting, right? And in terms of like pleasure, sort of finding activities that are recreational, that are joyful. You may go hiking, you may go dancing, you may pick up a book and go read in a library, go read by the river, like sort of do things that are fun. Any relationship that you start at this time, or even any creative project or collaboration, is likely to be characterized by like good vibes and optimism and ease. You may be exploring sort of new projects that deal with education, maybe teaching other people, that deal with writing, publishing, because Venus will form a grand air trine with Pluto in your 9th and Jupiter in the 1st. And so not just pleasure, but pleasure that allows you to be more influential, more in the spotlight. Later on in the cycle, it's going to square Pluto in the 8th, so I think there might be an opportunity to examine your relationships with other people and like fears you have involving approval or a lack of approval of others. It's a very interesting dynamic here, I think. If you're looking for a personal reading, you'd like me to look at your natal chart and give you a personalized, unique to you consultation, book one on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. There are a variety of options, a couple of durations, something for you, me, them, us. Check it out. If you are the beautiful Cancer rising, Venus is entering your 4th house, home, family, living situation. You feel more nostalgic. You feel more driven to spend time at home, to connect with family, to do activities that involve your family members or involve your past, talk about your childhood, look through family albums, maybe decorate your home in a brand new way. Having more kind of romantic dates at home, or going to house parties and meeting a partner at a house party is quite likely. Hosting get-togethers is quite likely. Your home becomes a place of action with this transit, and the place of love as well, I'd say. Venus will form a grand air trine with Pluto in your 8th house and Jupiter in the 12th. So there might also be deeper questions of like what home is, and like maybe with Jupiter in the 12th, maybe you're changing your home, maybe you're moving, maybe you're letting go of the old sort of family dynamics. We're about to have an eclipse here, and it's a south node eclipse, so some type of like letting go, transforming, changing is very likely. And around September 22nd, 3 days before, 3 days after, Venus is going to square Pluto in your 7th house. So you may deal with some type of power struggles in relationships, maybe challenges between your dreams and your partnership, or your partner's dreams and visions for the future. Please share how this resonates. If you're looking for more, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. Always happy to answer your questions about your natal chart, your relationship, your year to come, and more. For the beautiful Leo rising, Venus is entering your 3rd house. Time to go ahead and start that business, start that blog, start that novel. 3rd house is the place of communication. Venus will make you a diplomat. She will make you, people will come to you with their problems. You will help them solve them. You're likely to speak in a more charming way, which is once again really good for business, for sales, for writing. So take advantage of that, right? You may enjoy spending time with siblings and neighbors. You may have a lot more fun in the neighborhood, go out more, connect with people more. And Venus will form a grand air trine with Pluto in your 7th house and Jupiter in the 11th. So I think profiting through your relationships, asking people for help in terms of starting projects, working on your business, asking people to look over your writing project, to connect you with someone who can offer some support is likely here. Around September 20th, 22nd, Venus will also square Pluto in your 6th house. And that can actually be a chance to, like, there might be a little bit of tension between your dreams and the reality of the situation. And this transit might offer you opportunities to kind of deal with real life concerns, I guess, and maybe come up with a better schedule, problem solve, rethink something, let go of something, but not necessarily let go of your dream, but just let go of some like pattern, habit that doesn't serve you. If you're looking for more, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. I'd be happy to look at your chart and answer any questions you have. If you are a Virgo rising, Venus is entering your second house, the house of money and values. This could be a very lucrative period for you, especially if you are in sales, if you are looking to sell some of your art, if you're looking to buy some art, your eye for beauty, your eye for like, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess lucrative is right. Lucrative investments. Your eye for those investments right now is very, very good for the next sort of 3 weeks. It's a good time to ask for a promotion, ask for a raise. It's a good time to work with other people, to sort of work in partnership, to pursue creative projects, to invest into art and beauty. And you may, if you're single, you may meet someone at a bank or through, they might be an accountant or a financial advisor, so like through some kind of financial thing. Venus forms a grand air trine with Pluto in your 6th house and Jupiter in the 10th, so very much feels like professional growth, some kind of professional action. And later in the month, on September 22nd, 3 days before, 3 days after, she will square Pluto in the 5th. So there might be a little bit of rigidity or fears you have to let go of. There might be some conflicts between you and your partner or you and your child that you have to process at this time. If you're looking for more, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. If you are the beautiful Libra rising, Venus is entering your 1st house. Yay! I'm excited. I love Venus in the 1st house. Will always do. Venus in the 1st is your personal sort of stylistic, romantic, creative rebirth. You might want to change your look. You might want to change your hair, your style, your wardrobe. You're likely to receive more compliments. You're likely to be more charming and more kind of receptive. I think you will prioritize getting along with other people and try to be very diplomatic. You already are, but even more so at this point. Others will find you very agreeable, very cooperative. Venus will form a grand air trine with Pluto in your 5th house and Jupiter in your 9th house. And this is interesting because maybe there is some kind of romance with a foreigner, or there is a creative project that involves travel or involves teaching, involves empowering other people. And between September 20th, 22nd, Venus will square Pluto that has retrograded back into Capricorn in your 4th house, and maybe your sort of ease and play and sense of trying to get along will get disrupted by some family challenge or some wound from the past that you need to heal, or some kind of important realization that makes you realize that things are not as rosy as they seem to be. If you're looking for a personal consultation, personal guidance, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. I'd be happy to look at your chart, your year to come, or your relationship. If you are the lovely Scorpio rising, Venus is entering your 12th house. What a great time to get away. What a great opportunity to go on a trip, go to the sea, or like spend time with your significant other. Maybe you won't get away, but you will enjoy kind of hanging out with them behind closed doors. Maybe even like exploring something romantically, but like quietly, right? Some kind of experimentation is possible here. If you're single, Venus in the 12th house might be the time when you are becoming more aware, single or not, actually, if you're in a relationship too, like there is a sense of seeing things more clearly, seeing things for what they are, like what you want in relationships, how you take action, what you attract. All of those questions might be coming up for you. A new partner might appear at this time, but be really careful because 12th house has the nature of sort of self-defeating patterns. So either it's someone who's like very spiritual, that's great, someone foreign, pretty good too, Or the more challenge could be someone who's unavailable. That's why it's 12th house, it's the dark house, right? Like you often can't see things there clearly. So Venus will help you see things clearly, but there's still that danger of like getting thrown off course. So don't date someone who's clearly bad for you, someone who's married or toxic or anything unhealthy like that. I like that Venus forms a grand air trine with Pluto in your 4th and Jupiter in your 8th. This feels very healing. This feels like perhaps addressing relationships with family, maybe finding healthy ways to like get away from family for a little bit or cope with family challenges and maybe heal something. And around September 20th, 22nd, Venus will square Pluto in the 3rd, and there may be some challenging conversations you have to have, some sort of dynamics with family members, with like siblings, neighbors you have to address, or just sort of talk things out in order to come to an understanding with someone. If you're looking for a personal consultation, please book one on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. Moving on to the fun Sagittarius rising. Venus is entering your 11th house, encouraging you to socialize. You feel like a butterfly, a social butterfly. There's more places to go, more people to see, more invitations, maybe more networking opportunities. Venus in the 11th really shines in social context. So if you're normally very private and introverted, this might be a few weeks during which you are not as much. You are more fun. People enjoy hanging out with you. Maybe you're dating someone you're friends with, or you're partnering up with a friend, right? Starting some kind of podcast, a writing project. You might enjoy volunteering. You might enjoy doing work that serves others, or working with others too, right? Like working on some kind of group project, some kind of group initiative. Venus will first trine Pluto in your 3rd house and then Jupiter in your 7th house, which is quite exciting. I feel like this both reads romantic but also like business collaboration. So starting some kind of, partnership with a sibling, a neighbor, a friend, owning your skills in a brand new way, where you're starting a podcast or a YouTube channel and talking about them. Or romantic, once again, like Venus in the 11th house of friendships, trines Pluto in the 3rd, you meet someone, or meet someone through a friend or a sibling, and then it trines Jupiter in the 7th, and the relationship blooms, is quite possible here. Between September 20th, 22nd, you may run into some kind of financial disagreement with friends, or some kind of issue surrounding values. And maybe have to talk it out, but watch out for like power struggles and trying to get your way no matter what with this transit. If you're looking for more, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. I'd be happy to analyze your chart, talk about your year to come, or discuss your relationship compatibility. If you are the beautiful Capricorn rising, Venus in the 10th house will be a really great time for professional accomplishment. Going for creative projects, you may notice that there are more creative projects, more opportunities to do work that is fun, do work that is artistic, that is connected to working with women, working in fashion, working on beauty, writing, sculpting, dance, anything creative, right? But also joyful. It doesn't have to be creative, just something you enjoy doing. Venus in the 10th really reminds you that it's about more than just a paycheck. And like with a Capricorn on your ascendant, you are very hardworking. So once in a while, you need that reminder that you need to enjoy things as well. This will also likely to be a period of better relationships with bosses, more support of authority figures. So if you need to reach out to someone, ask for help, ask for a resource or connection, ask for a raise, it's a great time, especially around August 29th, 30th, Venus will trine Pluto in your 2nd house, and then September 15th, it will trine Jupiter in the 6th. So gains in resources, finances, sort of exciting opportunities professionally are quite likely. Around September 20th, 22nd, Venus will square Pluto in the 1st, and you may have to deal with a bit of tension involving your kind of domain and your empowerment and what's happening in your professional sector. So there could be a little bit of power struggles there. So be mindful, be demure. If you're looking for more, please book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. I'd be happy to talk about your natal chart, your year to come, or your relationship. If you are the lovely Aquarius rising, Venus is entering your 9th house. It's a great time to get away. Go on a trip, take your boo, or meet someone there. If you're single and you're traveling, do Bumble abroad or something. Pull your phone, check out who's in the area, go out. It's a great time to learn. You might be driven to study a foreign language, to take a cooking class, to learn about sex and sexuality, right? To take class with your significant other. To maybe even like expand your mind through philosophy and religion. You might find a lot more sort of joy in going to church if you are, if that is what you do. Going on journeys that have some kind of spiritual element to them is also quite likely. Learning things that are spiritual and soulful, like Reiki, astrology. For some people it's maybe not so spiritual, but I think it is. And you might also enjoy writing. You may sort of feel inspired. Venus will trine Pluto in your 1st house and Jupiter in the 5th. So once again, very romantic, maybe you're learning things that are connected to your partner, right? Like they speak a different language and you're trying to learn that language. Maybe you are exploring more sort of pleasurable activities and learning about some kind of passion you have. Or maybe you are sort of being a vehicle of change in terms of like 9th house is beliefs and philosophies and sort of laws. So maybe you're also trying to impact that in your community somehow. Between September 20th, 22nd, Venus will square Pluto in the 12th house. So watch out for some kind of like self-defeating, self-sabotaging behavior that might be coming to your attention. Maybe it's like a tendency to not express your feelings and then pout and get frustrated and be manipulative or something like that. Or it's just self-doubt that you're trying to kick to the curb. Please share how this resonates, and if you're looking for more, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. Now to the beautiful Pisces rising. Venus is entering your 8th house. She's in her sign of rulership. She's in your house of resources of other people. So this is likely to be the time when other people are extra generous with you. You need an egg, you go get an egg from your neighbor. You need a contact of a movie director, a friend helps you find it. You need a job reference, a friend is happy to give it to you. 8th house is often, Venus or Jupiter here might often be like benefit by association. So if you're in a relationship, your partner gets a bonus or a raise and they take you out, or they book a cruise and you go on vacation. Maybe they get an inheritance and you benefit through that. But it can also be a time when you are maybe more aware of the dynamics with other people and you're more likely to partner up with them. And Venus in the 8th, a lot of times like you might be inspired by something you saw and you don't plagiarize it, you don't just like steal it, right? But you are inspired and it like sparks a new idea in you. Or even you start a collaboration with someone, right? Like you work with someone and together you create a really beautiful thing that maybe you wouldn't have been able to come up with on your own. 8th house is also the place of healing, and it's the place of kind of deep transformative experiences. So Venus here can make sort of healing easier. I like that Venus trines Pluto in the 12th and Jupiter in the 4th. It sort of forms a grand air trine, even though it's not by degree, but by sign, she definitely does. And that suggests, especially early on, because Pluto does leave Aquarius for Capricorn on September 1st. But once again, some kind of healing, some type of solutions involving money, involving family, involving like matters that seem heavy is quite possible here. Very, yeah, like sort of letting go of unhealthy patterns and making healthy choices, I can see here. And then between September 20th and 22nd, Venus will square Pluto in your 11th house. So maybe, you know, at the very end of this transit, there's a little bit of tension and drama between you and your friends, between resources you have available and the dreams that you have, maybe some sort of a need to be honest and direct and do some rebalancing or address some power imbalances. If you're looking for more, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. And thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting me. Please subscribe if you haven't yet, and tell me how has August been for you. I hope you're looking forward to September. I think September is looking quite lovely. And I will wish you a happy day, morning, night, whenever you're watching this. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.